Hello and welcome. The Hong Kong budget for 2021 was released yesterday, and within it we can see that the government expects the economy to return to growth in 2021. It touches on a very broad range of sectors, everything from financial services, which is quite good news, and the aviation sector. There are, I believe, less generous measures than the prior year. For example, there's no 10,000 Hong Kong dollars cash payout to individuals. And importantly for business, there's no extension of last year's employment subsidy scheme. I think that's actually quite significant. A lot of the implementation is still being worked out and disclosed. What is clear is that the Greater Bay Area and the Belt and Road is pivotal to Hong Kong's development. Within this session, we're going to concentrate on certain areas. We're by all means not going to go into all of them. So some one-off measures. First of all, there's 100% cap or reduction of the profit taxes for 2020, 2021 up to 10,000 Hong Kong dollars, and it's similar for salaries tax under personal assessment. What these means in practice is that if you have a company, you should ensure that you're leaving sufficient profits in it if you're taking money out as salary or fees, etc., to ensure you use up all of that allowance. And likewise, under the salaries tax, you should make sure you ensure you use up all that allowance as well. There are waiver for residents for 4 quarters of residential rates, and there's a waiver for non-domestic rates at 5Ks and 2Ks for post quarters. The BR fees and annual return fees continue to be waived. Please note, not the penalties and not other charges within those principal fees. So, for example, the annual return fee is waived 100% when you go to the company's registry to file, but the business registration fee, there's still a charge on there of 250 Hong Kong dollars. Rather than the 10K cash payout that happened last year, this year there's going to be a 5,000 Hong Kong dollar consumption voucher, and this is going to be targeted for permanent residents who are 18 and above. I believe that by permanent resident that will mean right of abode, not right to land. Finally, there's also going to be a residential subsidy for electricity for 1,000 Hong Kong dollars. So personal support. There's lots of job training and back to work schemes for lower grade employment. For more management levels of employment, the Continuing Education Fund is going to expand, and that will include online courses. The consultation of that is ongoing. What this means is that if you're busy with family or busy with work, you'll be able to access the courses that are subsidised by that fund, and that subsidy is on a matching basis, and I believe is actually quite generous. We've already spoken about the salaries tax and the property rates and the electricity subsidy. Rather than implement a unemployment scheme as such for Hong Kong, what's been proposed is a loan scheme for unemployed of up to 80,000 Hong Kong dollars. It's going to be interest only for 12 months, and after it's all paid back, the interest is paid back and it's paid on time, the interest will be returned to the person lending it. Interesting on here is freelancers can actually also apply if they can show that their income has been reduced. And we've spoken about the 5K consumption voucher. One increase in taxes, and I think this affects personal and business, is stamp duty on transfer of shares, sale of shares. It will increase from 0.1% to 0.13%. That's been received relatively well by the people I've spoken to so far. So for the business, well, the SME Finance Guarantee Scheme has been extended. So, for example, the loan ceiling has been extended up to 6 million Hong Kong dollars per company, and the way that's generally calculated has increased to 18 months of pay and rental. The interest holiday, etc., has also increased. One important thing to remember here is that whilst a lot of the labelling on this scheme is 100% guarantee and 90 and 80% guaranteed, what we found in practice is that the banks are still requiring the significant shareholder to undertake a form of guarantee, and that may be significant, 70, 80%, etc. More money is being put into the Innovation and Technology Fund. More money is going into the BUD scheme. That scheme is quite a generous scheme to help people expand overseas, and the geographic coverage of that has been extended as well, so that's very good news. The Science Park, Cyberport, etc., the discounts that they're giving at the moment on rental should be extended for 6 more months. That exact wording is not in the bill, but that's my understanding of it. I'm yet to hear from Cyberport, etc. The Distance Business Program, which came out last year, which encouraged people to extend into the cloud as such, the funding for that has been increased, But interestingly, the applications for that are still closed. They closed in October last year. So I'm not sure if applications will reopen for that. And then items such as the tech voucher scheme, etc., they continue to be supported. A point to note as well is there are some initiatives and grants to help bring smart production lines into Hong Kong. Financial services, I think this is all very good news. There's a subsidy for open-ended fund companies to set up or to re-domicile in Hong Kong, and that will be 70% of expenses to local professional service providers, not just lawyers, that would involve accountants and company secretary as well, with a cap at Hong Kong dong 1 million. As we've already seen this year, the tax concessions for carried interest are very generous, and those continue to be so. And there's a subsidy for REITs to list in Hong Kong, 70% of expenses for local professional service providers. The cap on that is Hong Kong dollars 8 million, which is obviously very generous. There's also a grant of up to 12 million Hong Kong dollars to attract insurance enterprises to issue insurance-linked securities in Hong Kong. Very pivotal here now is the Hong Kong's wish to become a family office centre, or a significant option for that, continues, and the tax arrangements for that are going to be reviewed. My view is that these will be similar to the carried interest and will be generous and will enable that business to increase. There's already talk of a one-stop shop as such to be set up to enable family offices to be set up quickly. The work on BEPS from Europe continues, and Hong Kong is very committed to being a fair and low tax jurisdiction. Point to note is there are subsidies available for bond issuers or loan issuers if they are issuing green and sustainable bonds. All the detail on that is yet to come and be worked out. So conclusions. Unfortunately, there is limited employee support. There's going to be lots of devil in the detail of the applicability of some of these grants and schemes that are out. But it's clear there is a very forward-looking to positivity and a rebound, and there's a willingness to improve and to make support. What's also clear is that joined-up thinking between government departments is definitely happening. I think the carried interest was a clear example of the monetary side talking with the IRD and agreeing that and making it happen in a relatively short time frame. The budget enables a stable business environment with a good rule of law and predictability of what is happening on the finance side. The Greater Bay Area gives us a great opportunity on what we should pivot with. On all the various funding schemes, whilst they are very generous, I believe there is an ongoing difficulty of what funding should we apply for, and unfortunately a lot of it is still paper-based, and that application process can be somewhat clumsy, shall we say. That's it. As always, any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.